Kamikaze sheep. It was time to attack the Good Fairy's fortress and to put an end to that detestably good person. The Fairyland Flattening Evil's armies had reached the Good Fairy's fortress. As usual, the evil horde tried the brute force approach.
Exactly! Forwards, you evil horde! Attack with absolutely no tactical finesse whatsoever and nothing but brute force. Ha 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 ha!
That's not very nice of you, my dumplings. I'm afraid my transformation towers won't be happy with your behavior and will finish you little sweeties off. See, you little cuddly wuddlies, you shouldn't mess with a good fairy. And now, do be sweethearts and surrender. And then I'll bake you some cookies too.
Cookies! Mwah! Wait, what am I saying? We're gonna kick that old bag's ass. It's just... how are we gonna get past those towers?
Once again, Talia showed little, very, very, very little tactical finesse. Apparently, she had forgotten what happened in the last mission.
Why? What happened?
Okay, one more time for the idiots in the audience. It was all about sheep. The towers here turn creatures into sheep. So sheep remain sheep. Plus, we have plenty of dynamite. Computer game history has shown us just how useful explosive sheep can be.
Ah, okay, great plan. Well then, we'll load the sheep with dynamite and send them up against the Good Fairy's fortress.
Well, this bad boy is certainly an unpleasant fellow. I'd better send out my 7 dwarves to take care of this problem.
There we go. Do I have a mic now? Can I be heard by my cuties and my beauties? Huzzah! Sorry about that, I have no idea why, but like OBS swapped my mic audio off of my mic. Anyway, we're a bit late for it, 3-4 minutes in now, but welcome to the stream, my cuties and my beauties. Alright, we have 2 ways for the enemies to teleport in. Let's see if we can connect those. We have 2 entrances for these guys. I think I'll put like a boulder or something there. We'll cut it off here. Cut that out. Cut out that. You know, maybe I should stream Wormworld one day. Meow. What? Yes, you're cute, and you're here in my room. What do you want? Do you just want to be pet? If that's the case, then you can come sit on my lap. That way I don't have to turn around, get in a very painful position to look at you and pet you. Goodness, it's a large space. Okay, yeah, we'll clear that out. Alright, what did we just uncover? A book. What's this book do? Happy Pill. This creature never gets angry no matter how you treat it. Ooh! I can put that on like an ogre or something and they will, I can basically neglect all of their needs. Okay, here's the game wants me to start with demons. Oh! I have all 3 of the starting things. What's my army looking like? Alright, we got 2 demons and 2 banshees. Quite range heavy. I do have a gobbler farm, so I can get an orc to take the attention. Why is that not lined up? Yes, buddy, you're very cute. I am genuinely surprised I have yet to run into like a spider nest or dragons or something. Anything. Nope, bud. You can't just sit behind me and meow at me. You're in my lap now. Or not, fine. But you're not getting looked at anymore. Oh, hey, that's a big gold deposit. What a shame it's gonna be lost. There's another one over here. Wow, I dug right past 2 gold deposits. What are the odds of that? Do you want out?
Payday.
Probing the walls to like try to find literally any kind of monsters, so I know if I need to be careful digging around down here.
So your advancing means you don't want to surrender, sweet cakes? That's really too bad. Forwards, my sweets, and make that dungeon obsolete.
I'm not advancing, I'm just kind of digging down here, girl.
The first sheep had been loaded with dynamite and was ready to be sent loudly bleating against the good fairy's defenses.
What?
Oh, Bitsy Pookums, that's really not very nice of you. Yuck! Who's going to clean all this up?
Oh, go, my sheep. Oh, go! Ah. So this map's less about a large armies and more about sending out explosive sheep. Kill the healer! Oh. Well. That's unfortunate. I don't have a sizable enough army to really take out anything that attacks me right now. Nor do I have any of my defenses set up.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Where at? There, over here. Aw, damn, they have chosen to not fill in the one tile they need to. Meow. Army. Yeah, go there. Who's that kitty? Alright. Going back. Doors open. You're a gremlin. A naughty boy. I love you, dear. Yeah, they do. They do just want to meow, apparently.
The bustling evil had dug into a dragon's nest.
Oh, alright. It's pretty sizable. Sticker. Well, tape, but... See, we have a big old gold vein there.
A couple of worms are worming through your dungeon. Crush the worms.
Okay, they don't have an actual worm in there, we just have some baby giant worms. Which actually means I could just grab these guys. And take that out real quick, real simple. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Alright, except for a giant gold vein. Alright, let's see. We are going to need to block that up. We'll block that up too.
Hopefully no one has arachnophobia. A spider nest has been discovered. Payday!
Kitty cat, why are you like this? Alright, where's the spider nest at? Down here. Oh, it's an actual spider nest. Ah, there's our gold mine.
The Shorn Evil had reached the maximum number of dynamite sheep. It quickly set about sending them off. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the Bleating Evil to give them their orders.
Did somebody shoot? Wait, can I select 5 of them at a time? No. Oh, go, my bleating sheep. Bud, are we really gonna do this?
last bleat escaped the sheep before they more or less vanished into thin air amidst a group of heroes. And by air, I mean a really big explosion.
Brah.
Grumpy, one of the good fairy's 7 dwarves, confronted the armies of evil, something he would quickly regret.
I regret nothing of that situation. Alright, let's see. What's in my nest? Ah, heroes. Okay, I could drive them all into that. I'd rather not have 2, you know, like, chain paths. Let's not open up a path directly into my heart. Oh no, it's a spider! Oh hey, I have a second book. What's this one? Happy Pill? There's Squincher.
Defend the dungeon heart.
Did you know you're a gremlin, Irish? Irish is the name of my cat, in case y'all didn't know. Going to go for a bit, have a nice time. For as much gold as there is, I always do. In fact, I kind of need to get rid of these spiders, actually, because they're hoarding my gold. Oh, my orc died. What a shame.
Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress.
There you go. He wants out. He doesn't want out. He wants out. He doesn't want out. He just meow. While my minions dig around in the mud, I will step away for but a moment.
Payday. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Guys, Okay, fill that one in quickly.
Sweet cakes, I'm getting just a little tired of you. Now, I'm just going to
Bitch!
send my little hero bears
Fill that in.
directly into your dungeon.
Hero portals opened in the Perplexed Evil's dungeon. It would be wise to prepare to defend it. There are enemies in your dungeon. There are enemies in your dungeon. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Spiders up, gobbling down your gobblers. Dragons have nested in the underground.
Alright, hot diggity dang. You're a fucking idiot, you know that? All of you. Stupid. Force the enemies to like
Spider
walk.
nest has been unearthed. There are enemies in your dungeon.
Are there? Are there?
No! I'll be back.
Alright, so let's build us a prison.
Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. It's
Is
payday.
it spiders?
I'm back. She's not gonna get
Oh
up.
no, it's dragons. Oh, my little fire puppies. Bitch! Fuck's sake. I hope he does.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. It didn't seem to matter to the callous evil that Talia had died yet again. Although she was sure to return, it should take
Okay, we're
better
gonna-
care of her next time.
Put a dividing wall like that. No, no, actually. Yeah, like that. And this entire section will be dedicated to the demons. I could get that much extra space. Not really worth it. Hollow all that out. Oh, hi, they've very handily cleared out the dragons already. That's not concerning at all.
Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders.
Good Talia the level 5.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Ouch! Ouch!
That way she can essentially hold this area on her own.
Your dungeon heart is under attack. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I could put the rolling boulder there so it pushes them back while they're trying to assault the store. Actually, no, if I remove that, I could put the rolling boulder there, put a flamer there, or a heater there so it burns them while they're on that tile. Use the rolling boulder to push them back and, like, yeah. That section is no longer necessary. I'll plug that up. Dig that out. Dig those out. I will reclaim as much of this zone as I can. That'll be enough. Just so annoying, they'll make more.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Payday.
This band shall go up. Ah, no. I want more evil production, actually. So let me send all of you.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
It'll be fine. Talia will take care of it.
As often as I die, a life insurance policy would be an absolute gold mine.
With a baa, the dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom.
Back again.
Alright, you guys are gonna go find out how to get up there. Okay, apparently you're gonna go crash into that instead. For liberty!
Gumdrop, please keep your hands off my transformation towers. They're not paid for yet.
Bonus objective, kill the 7 dwarves. I've apparently killed one already. Alright, my army. Let's look at
Can we please stop
dead.
letting Talia die all the time? I mean, it's not that hard to resurrect her, but blow-drying her hair until it's just right sends the electricity bill through the roof. The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Death cannot stop me.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Okay, that spider nest is taken care of, which means we can put the walls back in. And heck, we have a pre-built room now.
The sheep-stomached evil had no more room for additional suicidal dynamite sheep. It immediately began sending them out against the Good Fairy's towers. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the Good Fairy's fortress. Enemies have entered the dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I'm sorry about that, chat. What's that do? Briefly increases movement speed.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Okay, will you guys not mind that one? Vault's full anyway. Alright, well, I'll move the vault over to here.
Payday.
We'll make it... No, the vault's gonna go down here. You know, where the,
The cruel evil's armies had located Sleepy the dwarf, who yawned as he slowly faced the evil creatures.
Buttercup, why are you attacking one of my transformation towers? It takes a long time for my elves and fairies to build one of those.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Dahlia, what the...
Your dungeon heart is under attack. And once again, Talia bought...
Damn it!
Your
Oh,
dungeon
goody.
heart is under attack.
I'm pretty sure all my demons are dead, and I probably don't have the mana to resurrect them all. Now dig that up. Alright, I have one demon live. These fucking spiders.
Shorn Evil had reached the maximum number of dynamite sheep. It quickly set about sending them off. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. Enemies have entered the dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Can I have like 5 seconds where enemies have not entered the dungeon? Just like 5.
Defend the dungeon heart.
Oh god damn it, another one of my demons is down. But I can't keep resurrecting you guys. Where's my last one? He's over there. Alright, where's Talia? Surviving.
Defend the dungeon.
I am desperately trying to.
Payday. Last Bleat escaped the sheep before they more or less vanished into thin air amidst a group of heroes. And by air, I mean a really big explosion.
Fuck!
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Wrong button. Need to pull Mulcifer back a little bit so that he's not anywhere near the front line, just to be safe. Because I can replace the orcs quite easily. I'd rather not have to replace these guys. Okay. We'll expand that to be 7 by 7. Build the wall. Actually, no. You. We'll put our gold vault back here. Nice 7 by 8. We'll then begin mining that. No, only one entrance to the gold. This will be our...
Defend the dungeon heart.
Fuck's sake!
The Shorn Evil had reached the maximum number of dynamite sheep. It quickly set about sending them off. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good Ferry's fortress. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Apparently they're welcome to just fucking live here with how many enemies have entered my goddamn dungeon lately. Actually, no. How big is that? 9x4. How big is this one? 5x4. Deadly, a 2x4. But it would increase this to a 10x7.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Can it just not be attacked for 5 milliseconds? This is getting a little obscene.
It didn't seem to matter to the callous evil that Talia had died yet again. Although she was sure to return, it should take better care of her next time.
I have returned. God dang!
In its muddle-headedness, the careless
Fuck!
evil had failed to provide enough protection for its dungeon heart, which now lay in a thought. The Fairyland flattening evil.
Alright, we'll dig out that path first. The dragons were just over here, I believe.
The bustling evil had dug into a dragon's nest. Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Of course it is. Because why wouldn't it be? You know, immediately. Guys might as well not even run off. There's fucking more enemies attacking my dungeon heart.
Defend the dungeon heart. defend the dungeon heart.
So your advancing means you don't want to surrender, sweet cakes? That's really too bad. Forwards, my sweet, and make that dungeon obsolete.
The first sheep had been loaded with dynamite and was ready to be sent loudly bleating against the good fairy's defenses.
Oh, Bitsy Pookums, that's really not very nice of you. Yuck! Who's going to clean all this up?
Payday. There are enemies in your dungeon.
I thought you were going to go fucking fill that in.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Alright, if I set this up correctly... Yeah, the heroes are going to clear up both the spiders and the dragons for me.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Oh, is it? If only I had something that was, you know, meant to defend it. Oh, what a shame that I don't have minions or something. Whose sole purpose is, you know, defend the dungeon heart. Okay. We're gonna cut it off there. Oh, no. No, we aren't. We'll fill that in once it's connected.
The Shorn Evil had reached the maximum number of dynamite sheep. It quickly set about sending them off. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. A last bleat escaped the sheep before they more or less vanished into thin air amidst a group of heroes. And by air, I mean a really big explosion. Your little snots have uncovered a dragon's nest.
Forgot about this one. Heavily increase our. We're gonna have some heavy box production for what we plan to do with our trap maze here. Yeah, sure, we'll have to do with the occasional dragon assault.
Payday!
The fuck out of there. The next idiot who winds up back there is gonna get. I'm just gonna let die. Or I'll murder them myself. Oh, my frenzy of sheep. To war!
With a bah! The dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom. Grumpy, one of the good fairy's 7 dwarves, confronted the armies of evil, something he would quickly regret. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress.
that, I'll have mana production, so I no longer worry about my demons just being permanently dead. I have plenty of Turks. Gobble gobble. Make that absolutely fucking massive.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
No good for them. They have a long way to walk and they have to fight a bunch of dragons. I hope they're brave heroes. Okay, can't really... Waddle waddle.
Sweet cakes, I'm getting just a little tired of you. Now, I'm just going to send my little hero bears directly into your dungeon.
Hero portals opened in the Perplexed Evil's dungeon. It would be wise to prepare to defend it. There are enemies in your dungeon.
Man, you guys should have stayed behind. You're about to lose your nest now.
The Shorn Evil had reached the maximum number of dynamite sheep. It quickly set about sending them off. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders.
Well, there's a spawn tent there. I should take that out. That'll decrease the number of enemies I'm, like, forced to endlessly face. Ah, there's the fortress I need to take out.
These sheep didn't mess around when they encountered a few opponents, and quickly, and a touch involuntarily, set off the dynamite they carried. Boom! That's all I'm saying. But an umbrella would be good right about now. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress.
Oh, hey, they broke through. Pull the entire army out.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
And drop them in the back.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Can the enemies in my dungeon, like... Actually, hold on. If I just... knock out that... they'll be forced to go down this way. Knock out that. Fill in that. And... that. I can force the heroes to not only walk 5 fucking miles all the way around my dungeon, but also through the last remaining, like, pockets of enemy that I need taken out. If this batch doesn't do it first.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. There are enemies in your dungeon.
Yeah.
Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Spiders have invaded your gobbler farm.
That's okay. Everything's fine. I don't need gobblers. Who eats gobblers anymore, anyway? That belongs to the spiders.
Payday.
It's not like they're healing from it. They're just, you know, disturbing production. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, I can get more, imps. Oh, oop, forgot to extend this out. There you go. we will make this the temple. Oh, don't know why my ass was got all wiggly woggly there. We'll put the prison back here. Temple doesn't need to be that big.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. The globe-trotting Evil's armies had tracked down the dwarf Happy, who threw himself at the creatures with a broad grin on his face. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress.
Sure showed him.
Alright. With all those infestations taken care of, and
There are enemies in your dungeon.
the only way in being through the maze, I can get
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
some proper gold production on the way. You got just a little bit extra room.
Payday.
Was it a 3x3 then? Yeah, it's 3x3, okay. Probably should have looked at the tooltip first. Okay.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
The tube of baths.
The haggis-eating evil had now managed to hoard the maximum justifiable number of dynamite sheep. It was time to send them on their way. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders.
Okay. So that's 2, 4, 6. Eight.
There are enemies in your dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon. Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Alright, back to those guys. Back up there. Why are you going into the...
Hey, keep your hands to yourself. Ah! Ouch!
A bunch of bloodthirsty motherfuckers are just like, ah, man, let me wander into the death maze to murder them. It's a good thing literally everyone here is able to revive.
Gumdrop, please keep your hands off my transformation towers. They're not paid for yet.
The merciless evil had destroyed a small hero camp. A foretaste of its brilliant victory over the good fairy?
Pumpkin, what are you doing? That's really not very nice of you. Bad boys don't get to lick the cake spoons later.
No,
Come,
not the cake
my
spoon.
sweet bears. Show those villains one just doesn't do that kind of thing.
The Snow White despising evil had found the dwarf Dopey, who, without saying a single word, faced off against the creatures.
Okay, now that I actually have this area, like, accessible.
Payday.
Actually, hold
There
on.
are enemies in your dungeon.
Pretty sure.
The sheep-stomached evil had no more room for additional suicidal dynamite sheep. It immediately began sending them out against the good fairy's towers.
Yep, they need to be 3 wide. If I could technically like cut into. How long? 5? So that's 6. Actually, nah, I'll figure out a use for it. I want it. I want that too. I'll make this treasure vault that big. Why? Because
There are enemies in your
arbitrary
dungeon.
lines.
Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders.
Our orders are going to be to go around, take out that, and more importantly, that. The first thing is you're gonna have to get through there, get past a group of heroes who are gonna be guarding that, so I'm gonna take that anyway. Alright, proof of mana capacity. Too pitiful, and we'll get that. We'll grab the prison research, and we'll throw in inhumane
Your
conditions and
dungeon
more
heart
skeletons
is under
before we even
attack.
build it. What? Ah, I see it. They cleared up the spiders. The spiders.
Your dungeon heart is under attack. These sheep didn't mess around when they encountered a few opponents, and quickly, and a touch involuntarily, set off the dynamite they carried. Boom! That's all I'm saying. But an umbrella would be good right about now.
Take out the British. Damn it. He did what Legolas couldn't.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Okay, we'll put the prison in here. I guess we could probably make that the temple, actually, rather than having this big-ass room be it.
Payday!
Well, shit.
Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress.
If and or how they get there is a thing.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I'd rather they didn't. That's a lot of them.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Really? Only 18 in my 5x5? That'll give me like a singular like tube of prisoners essentially. You.
The dungeon heart is being attacked. A last bleat escaped the sheep before they more or less vanished into thin air amidst a group of heroes. And by air, I mean a really big explosion. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress.
Holy shit, the orc survived.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
gold to build some simple doors.
Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. There are enemies in your dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon. With a bah! The dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom. The dungeon heart is being... With a bah! The dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom.
Might need to increase the size or number of the size of my graveyard. Yeah, that was the right words.
There are enemies in your dungeon. The haggis-eating evil had now managed to hoard the maximum justifiable number of dynamite sheep. It was time to send them on their way. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a bah and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Enemies have entered the dungeon. There are enemies in your dungeon. The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Where's my sheep? Oh, I hadn't ordered them off yet. Never mind.
It's payday. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Defend the dungeon heart.
Oh shit.
No! I'll be back.
Defend the dungeon heart.
Well, this might be it for us, boys. And by might, I mean it is definitely it for us.
In its muddle-headedness, the careless
Fuck!
failed to provide enough protection for its dungeon heart, which now lay in a
Pumpkin, what are you doing? That's really not very nice of you. Bad boys don't get to lick the cake spoons later. Come, my sweet bears. Show those villains one just doesn't do that kind of thing.
The Snow White despising evil had found the dwarf Dopey, who, without saying a single word, faced off against the creatures. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. Payday.
Throw me at the enemy!
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Should have grabbed that a while back. Zombies! Don't go fighting the fucking spiders! What are these idiots doing? Fuck it. If they want to die to those spiders so badly, they can die. Home respawn. Prison. Ah, that's why they're trying to die with this fire so badly.
Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I'd prefer if they didn't attack my island of evilness. At least it's the one that's closer. Zombie.
One of your islands of evilness is under attack. These sheep didn't mess around when they encountered a few opponents, and quickly, and a touch involuntarily, set off the dynamite they carried. Boom! That's all I'm saying. But an umbrella would be good right about now.
No! I'll be back. Is indescribable. Hey!
We'll boost Thalia's level to near max, just to try to better hold our lines.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. There are enemies in your dungeon.
Tell me something I don't know. Something I'm not, like, painfully aware of, because there's always enemies in my dungeon, apparently. That was before my research spree. Let's get my workers to be able to, like, do shit without being harassed.
Payday. The dungeon heart is being attacked. the haggis-eating evil had now managed to hoard the maximum justifiable number of dynamite sheep. It was time to send them on their way. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
We all ready? Alright.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Actually, hold on first. Take that back. I mean, you're gonna run past it anyway, so might as well take it, right?
These sheep didn't mess around when they encountered a few opponents, and quickly, and a touch involuntarily, set off the dynamite they carried. Boom! That's all I'm saying. But an umbrella would be good right about now. The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Quick, slap the ranger to death. The archers must die so I can have archers. Bleh.
Hey!
The dungeon heart is being attacked. The sheep before they more or less vanished into thin air amidst a group of heroes. And by air, I mean a really big explosion.
There's no real point in having a giant vault if your people won't mine the gold. What are my fucking workers doing? Where are you walking? You can teleport! Desperately want to get like
There are
destroy
enemies
that
in
and
your
that.
dungeon.
Man, it's a good thing this isn't like another dungeon game I have. I can't remember what it's called. War for the Overworld, that's what it's called. Because, like, the enemy also had a dungeon that they would, like, bully you with. It was very rude of them. I don't really need a massive jail, you know. Alright, research. 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 Okay. We'll start getting to work on all that. Let's see what
The
we
sheep
got
stomach
unlocked here.
evil had no more room for additional suicidal dynamite sheep. It immediately began sending them out against the good fairies' towers. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairies' fortress. Enemies have entered the dungeon. It's payday.
Bloodless game, they said. Bloodless game!
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Ow! Evil will triumph!
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Why are there so many? Why did it take so long for any of my guys to fucking get here?
The dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom. The dungeon heart is being attacked. Heroes are on their way to one of your islands of evilness.
Death is not the end. Ow!
I don't have the facilities to res the orcs. I really wish you would recognize that.
Evil will triumph!
Hey zombies, get the fuck back in there.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Hey! Destroy the good!
An island of evilness is being attacked. The enemy has captured one of your islands of evilness. The dwarf Bashful, a rather shy fellow, blushed a bit as he stood to face the not really known for its bashfulness evil's hordes.
Zombies and the more skeletons. Grub Naga.
Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairies' fortress. Enemies have entered the dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Dang, faster! Bitch, where are you going?
With a burr, the dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom.
Come on!
Talia, don't just walk into a corner!
Payday.
Won't be no payday for you imps if everyone's fucking dead.
Drop me on the enemy!
If you were a melee hero, I might, but like, I have no such thing.
Ouch! Ouch!
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Time to die! Give me my orders!
Why is the snake in front?
Drop me on the enemy!
And once again, Talia fought the farm. Your dungeon heart is under attack. A last bleat escaped the sheep before they more or less vanished into thin air amidst a group of heroes. And by air, I mean a really big explosion. Defend the dungeon heart. In its muddle-headedness, the careless evil had failed.
Fuck's sake!
Pumpkin, what are you doing? That's really not very nice of you. Bad boys don't get to lick the cake spoons later. Come, my sweet bear.
I will
Children
throw you into a
want to
fucking
cuddle,
volcano.
that kind of thing.
You hag.
One of your islands of evilness is under attack. Payday. One of your islands of evilness was captured. The sheep's stomach evil had no more room for additional suicidal dynamite sheep. It immediately began sending them out against the Good Fairy's towers. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the Good Fairy's fortress.
Hey!
The dynamite-equipped
Where's
sheep
the,
plunged into a horde of enemies,
fucking
which quickly
mining
disintegrated
going
into
on?
tiny pieces with a joyful boom.
Dig! You read! You idiots! Where you going?
Enemies
Nope,
have
nope.
entered the dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
There's one of you who walks off, I'm just throwing into a pit. I'm watching you guys. I don't fucking care if I lose this time. Why? Why are there 3 fucking swarms? This is too many heroes.
The dungeon heart is being attacked. With a bow! The dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom.
Time to die.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
No! I'll be back.
Defend the dungeon heart.
Ouch! Ouch! For the absolute evil! Whoa!
The dungeon heart is being attacked. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the Good Fairy's fortress.
Fuck.
Payday. With a
Gumdrop, please keep your hands off my transformation towers. They're not paid for yet.
Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. Enemies have entered the dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I love just facing 3 fucking waves of enemies all simultaneously.
Defend the dungeon heart.
Look at them. They're enslaving your brothers. Go! Go free your brethren!
Choo! Sneezy the dwarf, face that didn't give a damn about film fairy tales equals armies. To the callous evil that Talia had died yet again. Although she was sure to return, it should take better care of her next time.
Where do you two think you're going? There's still enemies here.
Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress.
There's only one.
There are enemies in your dungeon. cruel evil's armies had located Sleepy the dwarf, who yawned as he slowly faced the evil creatures. These sheep didn't mess around when they encountered a few opponents, and quickly, and a touch involuntarily, set off the dynamite they carried. Boom!
Sleepy the dwarf is now dead,
That's all
so...
I'm saying. But an umbrella would be good right about now.
Okay. I do need to unlock the crypt for my undead. So, yeah. Crypt. You're going... 7 by 7 there, sure.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. It's payday. The sacrifice didn't coax a single god out of the clouds.
5 mana.
The gods found the sacrifice okay.
Yes,
The
but
gods weren't particularly impressed by the sacrifice.
do I just... I have a free zombie now?
The sloppy evil had allowed Talia to die, but for a small fee, she could be resurrected.
Where is literally any of my army right now? You can't get fucking paid if you're dead, you assholes!
I'm back again.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Give me my orders.
Can we please stop letting Talia die?
Pumpkin, what are you doing? That's really not very nice of you. Bad boys don't get to lick the cake spoons later. Come, my sweet pets. Show those villains one just doesn't do that kind of thing.
Payday. Enemies have entered the dungeon. The haggis-eating evil had now managed to hoard the maximum justifiable number of dynamite sheep. It was time to send them on their way. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. There are enemies in your dungeon. The cruel evil's armies had located Sleepy the Dwarf, who yawned as he slowly faced the evil creatures.
Buttercup, why are you attacking one of my transformation towers? It takes a long time for my elves and fairies to build one of those.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Is indescribable.
An island of evilness is being attacked. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders.
Ugh. Be consumed by the graveyard and become an undead.
A last bleat escaped the sheep before they more or less vanished into thin air amidst a group of heroes. And by air, I mean a really big explosion. There are enemies in your dungeon.
Really? Not even from the... There's one searching from the teleporter, not from walking in.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Yeah, like the ones that just came in, down there. Well, I love constantly having an unending stream of enemies in my dungeon.
Payday.
Alright, if I detonate that tower, I could probably walk an army over to here. Destroy that. Get the last island of evilness that I can actually kind of get. Burst through there and hopefully maybe destroy that. Before I do any of that though, I have to get that.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
That. Silence of the TNT lambs.
The gods found the sacrifice. Okay. One of your islands of evilness is under attack. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a burr and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders.
I'm back again. Hey! Death from above.
Heroes are on their way to one of your islands of evilness.
My boys reached level 3 immediately. This horde of sheep was meant to take out a tower, not to go take back a fountain of evilness.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Will you stop?
One of your islands of evilness is under attack with a burr. The dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom.
Yeah, then we're gonna take the other Tower of Evilness. If I take this thing down,
Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Death here is gonna be our tank. Literally tanking all the
Your
enemy
dungeon
blows.
heart is under attack.
After we stop the heroes from destroying us.
Pumpkin, did you destroy one of my transformation towers? I don't find that the least bit heartwarming. In fact, I'm afraid it made me slightly angry.
It's payday. There are enemies in your dungeon.
More? More enemies in my dungeon? What? What? Were the 4 fucking armies marching through my halls
These
not
sheep didn't
enough?
mess around when they encountered a few opponents, and quickly, and a touch involuntarily, set off the dynamite they carried. Boom! That's all I'm saying. But an umbrella would be good right about now. Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Can I have, like, just, 2 seconds to just recover?
And once again, Talia bought the farm. The gods found the sacrifice. Okay. The sacrifice satisfied the gods.
I don't need more toolboxes. Is that enough? Is that all of them? There we go.
There are enemies
Forgot
in the
how
dungeon.
absolutely massive I need to make those things.
The haggis-eating evil had now managed to hoard the maximum justifiable number of dynamite sheep. It was time to send them on their way. There are enemies in your dungeon.
Really?
There are enemies in your dungeon. The sacrifice didn't coax a single god out of the clouds. The sacrifice didn't coax a single god out of the clouds.
Wait, what? I seem to have received a gift on Steam all of a sudden. I'm kind of scared to check what that is, especially on stream.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Can we just not? What if I picked up Death and just kind of chucked him in the middle there?
Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a burr and stood waiting for the bleating evils to give them their orders.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I, you know, use whatever, like, username people have here on Twitch. Just in the off chance that, like, it's somebody I know and recognize that that's an alternative username.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Obviously, they're using a different username for a reason, you know? Buckshot rope. Well, Death's about to die. Let's tell you. I was just didn't think of it. Oh, hey, there's a fucking 4 healers here. Just really high one there too.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
God damn.
The gods weren't particularly impressed by the sacrifice.
Oh, I got a free imp. Would have preferred a free zombie because I can't get those guys.
Impressed by the sacrifice.
Alright, damn.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Get ready for the skinny bar. Bar. Well, brewery. Okay. Other rooms, I need a crypt. That's basically my hospital. Wait, did I? Fuck it, who cares, right?
There are enemies in your dungeon.
I need more gold.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Oh, I should have a bunch of sheep still to send off. Go die attacking that for me.
The Shorn Evil had reached the maximum number of dynamite sheep. He quickly set about sending them off.
Please kill this veteran. There we go. I can focus down their healers, because my minions don't know how to focus down healers first.
It's payday.
My flipping graveyard is filled with so many dead minions. Oh.
The gods found the sacrifice. Okay.
I got 10 mana from that. Worth. Oh yeah, get out of the maze, please. Alright, I'm going to expand this down a bit.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
No, make it 8 by 8. That there, Pop that open. We will then make the Tinkerer's Cave. Not two is enough. Do, 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 do. Oh, I need
Another
more sheep.
horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a baa and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders.
Alright, I do have enemies in my dungeon. Which means I can't send out my minions until... Well, I can't send out my minions, but I can't trust those I leave behind and not flippin' die.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
More? More? Why? Why are there always enemies in my dungeons?
Okay. There are enemies in your dungeon.
Oh. Is that dragon lizard an enemy?
The gods found the sacrifice. Okay.
Oh, snap! It gave me a free worker. No, the lizard puppy. No, he's a good boy. Stop. He was summoned by the gods. Alright,
Defend the dungeon heart.
do I not have the Sinister Laboratory researched? I do not. Alright, that would be a 5x9 or 5x8. Those things require a 3x3 space. 5x9 it is then.
Defend the dungeon heart.
Darn it, man. So many. Alright, one of each of those. And I can start building doors now. Now for 150 gold apiece. Oh, payday's in 9 seconds and I have nowhere near enough gold for it.
Payday.
What? Thirst quencher? Weed reduction. Okay, where is death?
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Death, go over here. You are now frugal. There we go, that's reduced my payday by like half. Jesus.
The sheep-stomached evil had no more room for additional suicidal dynamite sheep. It immediately began sending them out against the good fairies'
Oh,
tower.
I thought I sent these guys off to go die.
I'm the Queen of Evil! I'm just
Enemies have
waiting
entered
for
the dungeon.
that to build up so I can. I'm only getting 75 a minute? Ugh. Oh, that's right, they took my other thing.
Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairies' fortress.
Let's actually send out this badge and like actually get them to their destination. Let's not forget they exist this time. Almost immediately forgets they exist. Man, this is gonna be such a deadly maze once I've, you know, finished the research to make it so. Like the heater, guitar pit, the crusher, and the rolling boulder. Oh, the Gablin's leveled up. I pull him out of there.
These sheep didn't mess around when they encountered a few opponents, and quickly, and a touch involuntarily, set off the dynamite they carried. Boom! That's all I'm saying. But an umbrella would be good right about now.
Take out the healers in that group so they have them when they come down here.
One of your islands of evilness is under attack.
What? Please? No. Hey.
You have lost one of your islands of
God dang it.
evilness to the enemy.
I just retook one. Man, Death leveled up like twice from that fight. Jeez. Who can work these? Okay, got the Banshees can. Do I have any Banshees who aren't? Yes, you. Anyway.
Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a bar and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them
What's
their
that, happy
orders.
pill? Never gets no angry no matter how you treat it, and no longer requires beer. I will use that on the ogre when I get him.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
To get him, I'm going to need to do a lot of research. Alright, I will grab a Naga. I will unlock the Naga.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
And now that I have the Naga unlocked, I can buy the Naga and have. What the. Oh, I just have a fucking blank space of barracks. Let's start out with a 7x7 real quick. Yeah, we got completely broke. I should use the sheep. Come, my suicidal sheep. I mean, my, not happy to be alive sheep.
There are enemies in your dungeon. These sheep didn't mess around when they encountered a few opponents, and quickly, and a touch involuntarily, set off the dynamite they carried. Boom! That's all I'm saying. But an umbrella would be good right about now.
Good, I take it back. Alright, go after that one next.
These sheep didn't mess around when they encountered a few opponents, and quickly, and a touch involuntarily, set off the dynamite they carried. Boom! That's all I'm saying. But an umbrella would be good right about now.
Crackers, cheese, a little stick of meat. Holy shit.
Destroy the good!
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Yeah, I noticed. Let's throw our zombies back in there. I don't care if they're fully healed, they'll revive again. The skeletons, backlines for them. Like, look at all the dead heroes on the ground. Like, this is
had reached the maximum number of dynamite.
this is just
sheep.
too many.
It quickly set about sending them off. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I desperately need people revived. Look at how many there are down here, like, jeez.
The gods found the sacrifice okay. The sacrifice didn't coax a single god out of the clouds.
You say that, but I got free beer from this.
The sacrifice satisfied the gods. The gods found the sacrifice okay. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I'd rather they stop doing that.
It's payday. A last fleet escaped the sheep before they more or less vanished into...
Gumdrop, please keep your hands off my transformation towers. They're not paid for yet.
Okay. Alright, I'm starting to get my traps in. Can I build this? But I need the enchanter thing.
Defend the dungeon heart. Defend the dungeon heart. It didn't seem to matter to the callous evil that Talia had died yet again. Although she was sure to return, it should take better care of her next time. Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a burr and stood waiting for the fleeting evil to give them their orders.
Why? Why are there so fucking many of them?
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Back again.
It's actually kind of unreasonable.
My orders.
Did I hear that more are coming in?
There are enemies in your dungeon.
I don't really have a use for the bolt being here anymore.
With a burr, the dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Welcome to the dungeon.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Fine, fuck it. Run faster though.
Payday. These sheep didn't mess around when they encountered another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. I literally lost my mouse there for a moment. The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Power is so incredibly strong.
Defend the dungeon heart.
Please, resurrect my Naga and shit. So she can level up.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of just normal at this point. Like, fuck it. I think I'd be faster to, point out, or easier to point out when there aren't enemies in my dungeon at this fucking point. God, I have a lot of unused space over there. Beer has healing powers. With each barrel of beer, your horde creatures now regenerate 100 health or 100 damage.
With a bah! The dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde
What?
of enemies, which quickly
Why my
disintegrated
people
into tiny pieces.
still dead?
Joyful boom!
I did not
Another
keep
group
track
of
of which route they took.
dynamite-loaded
Oh well.
sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good fairy's fortress. Enemies have entered the dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon. The sacrifice pleased the gods.
Oh hey. I got a human, like, follower dude as a... I have a hero. Hey, why the fuck is my Lamia still fucking dead? No?
Defend the dungeon.
No? We need you on the front lines, girl.
Defend the dungeon heart. It's payday.
Ooh, ah.
There more people coming through yet? Already? No? I don't have enemy enemies within me?
Another horde of suicidal sheep appeared with a bah and stood waiting for the bleating evil to give them their orders. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
What kind of resistance are these guys encountering over here? Mostly dead priestess?
With a bah, the dynamite-equipped sheep plunged into a horde of enemies, which quickly disintegrated into tiny pieces with a joyful boom.
Wait, why is that open? Oh, did we blast that? Sweet. Aw. Alright, well, our production of evil is quite high now. High enough that I can actually do that and that.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Get the two tanky boys out. Oh god!
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Is that bitch facing the wrong way?
The dungeon heart is being attacked. Defend the dungeon heart.
Oh, I've been resurrected. Thank you. Whoa!
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the giant army of, heroes that are attacking it. And absolutely destroying my team. My medical snake is in there somewhere, still alive.
Now managed to pour the maximum justifiable number of dynamite sheep. It was time to send them on their way. Another group of dynamite-loaded sheep was ready to either fly to the moon or march against the good Ferris fortress. It's payday.
Actually kind of upset about that,
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
that doesn't need to be a tar pit. Alright, then we'll put a spike trap there instead. My man's is so big. Sacrifice! Sacrifice!
The gods
Sacrifice!
found the sacrifice. Okay.
Bye.
The sacrifice angered the gods.
Oh no, they dropped a dragon puppy in me.
The gods weren't particularly impressed by the sacrifice.
Bloop. Yeah, it was enough to fill it.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
So many.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
It's just a never-ending assault.
Defend the dungeon heart.
Big guy sleeps on a throne.
Evil will triumph!
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Fucking mouse.
In its muddle head,
Fuck!
the careless evil
We're
has
gonna call it
not
here.
provided enough protection for its dungeon heart, which now lay in 1,000 pieces. And if they haven't died, then they're still. Oh, wait a minute.
I don't have the will to go at that level again right now. It's been lovely playing with you, my cuties, my beauties. Have a good day. Good night.